Good morning. Welcome to the Smart Life Club. My name is Vickie Helm, and this is the Coffee Break Show. Right off the bat for the Coffee Break Show, I want to give a shout out and happy birthday to Dustin Yeager. Dustin Yeager, happy birthday. I just want to be able to say it's Monday, and we had a fabulous weekend. I mean, really good weekend. And what I notice about having a really good weekend is that you want to have a really good start on a Monday morning. If you're new here, welcome to the Smart Life Club. We share tips, we share all kinds of inspiration, motivation, success, and everything else. We come together to create thrivability in this community. And a lot of thrivability happens because we have such intelligent members that come along on a Monday morning to hang out with us. Good morning, Peter. Nice to see you on. Good morning, Mary France, because I know if Peter's there, Mary France is there. So good to see you. Good morning, Karen. I'm so glad to see you. I hope you're feeling better, my friend. Happy birthday, Dustin. Now, who is Dustin? Dustin is obviously a family member. He's my nephew. He was the firstborn in the kind of grandchild, the first time I was an aunt, and he knows I love him very much. Thank you very much. Today we have so many things going on in the world, and I want to talk about them all. And I know everybody's like, well, we're going to talk about the coronavirus. No, that's just one thing. We do an update. This is what's happening in the world, what's happening. And we take a look at all the things that can be unfolding as we speak on a Monday morning. But do me a favor, put your name down below if you're new here so that I can meet you and we can know you and we can say hi. If it's your first time here and you're on the live, just above me somewhere, you're going to see something that says StreamYard/Facebook. When you click that, this blue button will come up. And when you click that, it allows me to see your name on Facebook. Otherwise, it'll just say Facebook user. Good morning, one of my favorite coffee outlaws. Hey, Lori, how you doing? I'm so glad to see you. I enjoy seeing you every morning when your name pops up. I'm like, hey, Lori's there. Okay. So let's talk about being on YouTube. If you're on YouTube right now, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. We go live Monday through Friday. Hit that like button and that bell notification, and it'll warn you every morning when we go live. You'll be like, coffee break time. Go ahead and get your best Java and do me a favor and hop on and say hello and make everybody get to know you. If you're watching this afterwards, it's Monday. Put #replay. If you're watching the replay, #replay on there. Glad to see you all. Okay, let's get started. First off, do you have your beverage of choice? Mine is always coffee. And I can't leave home without it because I'm just, I'm a Java god that way. And I want to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly today about what's happening with the coronavirus. The ugly for me is that they've started lockdown in Italy and they're locking people down. And again, this lockdown thing, this quarantining, whether it's voluntary or forced. Brandon, good morning. Nice to see you on, buddy. Thank you for being here. With the lockdowns in countries, China's been locked down. People have been locked down in their homes for about 50 days now. And they're trying to get some people back to work. It's not working. Italy, they're cutting people off from leaving now. And we're just watching. Good morning, Donnie. Nice to see you. We are watching what's happening in the world. But in the United States and in Canada, the next 14 days are going to be very eye-opening as to, what's going to be happening. And so I know evidently a lot of people thought toilet paper was the number one thing to own, and how that toilet paper fiasco started happening was when they went down in lockdown on China. So right now for 50 days, the first thing they ran out of that they couldn't replace was toilet paper. They were having fights in the street over toilet paper. So those people who saw that happening in China decided that toilet paper should be the number one thing they bought. And so what is here, though, is that shipping from China has been on lockdown as well. The shipping docks in Shenzhen and Shanghai and everything else, that's all the docks there, they're still closed. There's nothing going back or forth from China to America or vice versa. And since China had such shipping, there's these ships that are just hanging out in that area. They've been for 50 days floating in that water because they can't get in to get gas to turn around and take that cargo ship home. And if they do get in, they're only 1/3 full. So we have supply chain shortages that are happening. And part of that supply chain might be toilet paper or something. I don't know. People are really crazy over it. I just want to go, Vickie is a Java goddess. Thank you. I am. I have definitely gotten myself to say I am a Java goddess because I just think, well, it's only logical. Bada bing. Okay, job interview went well, Vickie. I'm so excited about that. Thank you for your words of encouragement. Brandon, I'm so excited. Brandon, there are 2 pages for the Smart Life Club. There's the Smart Life Club group and the Smart Life Club page. And I'm so glad I can see you on the group. I get to interact with you a little bit more. Let's see, Karen, 4 cases in Pennsylvania. You be careful, my friend. And Sean says, I got my toilet paper for sure. That's right. Marie France says, Health Canada today has advised all Canadians to avoid cruises. To me, I avoid cruises anyway. Not a lot of people know, but I will not go on a cruise. I will rent a boat, but I will not go on a cruise. It's the number 1 polluter on the planet is a cruise ship. And most people don't know it's also a floating petri dish, whether we have coronavirus or not. It's a petri dish. I usually don't take cruises, though, because they're the number 1 polluters of our environment. And sometimes we have to say no. In fact, they're such big polluters and are not even allowed in some of the ports. And for me, I have, taking the planet as very serious right now. Everybody needs to be heard about that. We hear where you live, Vickie, is a great place to be locked down because you have a great time. Shh, I don't know who's been telling you that, but it's true. I do. I live very rurally. And I'm very thankful right now that I live extraordinarily rurally, but I don't live rurally in the middle of nowhere with nothing to do. We have these beautiful mountains. You can still go bike riding. If you're going to be locked down, my place is a great place to be locked down. You're absolutely right. But let me tell you, Canada is rocking and I love it. Congratulations, Brandon, said Robin. Lori said, ha, 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 we are super stocked up on toilet paper. COVID-19, not toilet paper, laugh out loud. Yes, that's right. It is. Thanks, Robin Helm. So here's what I want to say. I want to take a look at if lockdown or quarantine happens, what can you do to prepare for that? Okay, it's great that you have toilet paper, but you're going to need food. And you're going to need projects that help you. One, if they say you guys can't go to work because that's what's happening in Italy, you need to have some sort of sources of income. When I looked at my life, I was like, everything I make is digital. So I do not have to worry about, I don't go to a job. I can't even remember the last time I've been to a job. I won't do it. I can go ahead and safely have my life with me. The whole point of being entrepreneurial and the reason I like digital instead of everything being digital is that I can do business anywhere in the world, 24 hours a day, while I sleep, while I'm awake, while I'm doing anything. Marie Jo, nice to see you. Good morning. We can do anything. We can get to the point where we have income rolling in, but I work really hard for that. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. We're putting out our 4th book in less than, we've been putting probably a book out a month. We had Get Your Shift Together. We have Cash Flow Secrets. We have Smart Choices, and we're coming out with the She Myth pretty soon. And we have all of these books that are coming out that we keep doing, that we keep putting programs with and for, so that people can go ahead and continue buying books and things like that. And so the question is, how do you shore up your income right now. There's a lot of people who are who are in Italy and not going to work this morning because it's like, I think there's 12 million people in that particular country that is on lockdown and quarantine. And so we think somehow that it's not going to happen here. And I hope it doesn't. I really hope it just somehow disappears. That would be my best wish. But what I've noticed is that somehow when we create income, we don't think about the possibility of floods, fires, and disease or changes in our life. And so what I noticed for me is when I looked at Harvey in Texas, when Hurricane Harvey happened, I thought, okay, everybody who has their whole life in where they live, if there's a flood, your bank, your grocery store, your gas station, your school, your church, everything is underwater. Everything is harmed. So your whole life stops. What I noticed about having a digital income backup is that if that happens, all of this stuff stops, or if it's an earthquake or something, I have something coming in other than what's just around me. And that's the beauty of having some form of digital income. And I think it's a responsibility for everyone. The way I choose digital income, because right now, everybody who has a Amazon account, who does who is an online person who sells products, drop shipping, whatever it is, their product inventory is going way, 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 way down. It's 50 days. China has been, 50 days in lockdown. So I think it's since January 23rd, that was the first day of lockdown. They have been there since. Donnie or Scott, is it January 23? I think it's 50 days. So in 10 more days, they will have been for lockdown for, 2 months. And there's nothing being shipped, nothing being moving. So if your product is completely dependent on China, you're not making any money. And so to me, it's like when you build a digital business, ask about your own supply chain. Where's it coming from? And don't just have one supply chain. Have multiple supply chains. Let's see what we got. We're so happy to work from home for the last 20 years. Me too. I think that, Peter, that is like one of the greatest blessings around, is that, being able to work from home. Sean says, definitely another big book coming in a month or so. Very excited. I am too. We got 2 popping out. I can't even tell you about that. I'm so excited about that. But that's a digital asset. You have a book out, you have a program, you have something that can help you generate another income outside having a physical product that gets shipped from all around the world, where there can be a supply chain disruption. If you can get a country-centric one, that's also good. And also, long-term, it's like you have to have a portfolio of products and services to sell, or products from around the world, so that if there is a supply chain break, you have another opportunity to just sell something else as well. Good morning, Barb. Nice to see you. Hey, the puppy said we're rambunctious this weekend. Lady, she just went ahead and chewed up everything. And you had a big puppy weekend. Barb says, but what digital products will be high in demand during times of crisis? So many digital product producers miss that one. Thank you. And I'm going to tell you what the number one is. The number one book right now, the number one is books. The ebook is downloaded. Most of them are how-to. There's not a lot of books on how to survive a pandemic, but, or how to survive lockdown, or, how to prep. But the number one is books. People love them or use them. And then YouTube stations come next. They like online programs, etc. And then products that actually help prevent or help you during crisis. That's what sells best. I asked the question, if you could work for 3 months, what would you do if your income stopped? Yes, that's a big deal right there. Peter, that's a great question. And he does ask that because, I've asked that too. I asked the question, if you couldn't work for 3 months, what would you do if your income stopped? Because that's pretty easy. Right now in China, they're looking at 60 days already. They got one more month before it's 90 days. Barb, as usual, you're right on the button. January 23rd. Thank you. Thank you, Scott. January 23rd, Wuhan went under lockdown. And that's a bit, imagine being locked down. They can't get out of their apartments. And sometimes if they leave, they can't get back in ever. It's so unusual right now to be living in that. And we're watching it happen in Italy right now. In Italy, the ports probably shut down shortly thereafter. That's right. So we have all of this lockdown stuff going on, and we're very fortunate that it hasn't happened in this country. And we are very fortunate to still have some supply chains moving. But when you get to the point where a second country is in lockdown, we're all connected. We're going to feel it. Whatever products that come out of Italy that are used all over the place, the second they're on lockdown, all the shops are closed, all the manufacturing is closed, things aren't moving. And the movement of goods and services are what creates economic well-being, yes? So when we don't have that, we have to pay attention to where those are happening. That's a critical question, isn't it? Yes, that's a very critical question. If you couldn't work for 3 months, where's your income coming from? And if you don't have a backup income or another income other than the one you have to be, mobility and freedom are to be protected right now. Right now, if you wanted to move from here to, I don't know, Canada or here to Mexico or here to Australia, wherever you want to go in the world, or Puerto Rico, etc. Can you move your company with you? Can it just go with you? Can your income source go with you? Or would you be dependent on, oh my God, I have to find a job? Or are you stuck where you are, don't like it because you have this job, but you don't actually like, it wouldn't be your first place to live. There are ways to free yourself so you can actually live that life you want to live. And there are tons of ways to make money online right now. And every single day we can keep improving that. 46 days as of today for Wuhan. Thank you very much. It's 46 days, not quite 50. So in 4 more days, at the end of this week, they will have been in lockdown for 50 days. Buy hard copy books now. Pages are toilet paper substitute if necessary. It's an ugly thought, but I hope I never have to do that. Oh my God, it seems like an eternity that we have been watching this disaster. It does seem like that, doesn't it? It seems like it's interesting to watch it. Sean, I've seen a few pages. It's awesome. Thank you. Teaser alert. So I want to be able to tell you that some of the most important things that you can have in your life are joint ventures. Joint ventures are ways for you to create well-being and income with the people that you work with. The thing about a joint venture is it's when you take your skills and pair them with somebody else's skills to create an entity that helps you make money, and then you obviously split profits. Joint ventures can happen all the time, and they can be anywhere in the world. Like I have joint venture partners in Canada. I have them in Australia. I have them in the US, obviously. I have them in the UK as well. You can do anything in real time right now. You can have joint venture partners everywhere around the world that you want them. And you have to know how to make good deals, profitable deals, and you have to know how to be a good partner to make that happen. But when you get to the point where you're putting up these orchards of income and creating these joint ventures, pick people who have great products, great services, thing that can benefit you so well, and then go for it. Go jump on it, go for it. And you can create abundance together. And the second you can do it once, the team is like, how do we do it again? How do we do it again? How do we do it again? And you do it again and again and again and again. You have these little profit centers all over the world. And the beauty is, if you do them right, you could be earning euros, and then you could be earning Australian dollars or Canadian dollars or US dollars, and you have a basket of currencies that you can be working with. And this is how, you can build sources of income instead of just one income. People are looking for unique health and wellness that can protect them from major health problems around the world. Yes, right now they're looking for that more than any single thing. Peter, the laptop lifestyle, home or any place of your choosing is magnificent. Yes, it is. Exactly. And sources are locally or source as locally as possible. Yes, that's going to be a big deal. It's a slow motion train wreck if it's slow motion train wreck. It's been with it from the start. If not, it's sudden panic. Could you rewrite that? It's a sudden panic and looming collapse. It's a slow motion train wreck. If it's been with it, there's some typos in there and I can't make out what you're saying, but I think what you're trying to say is that it's a slow motion train wreck and it's a sudden panic and a looming collapse. I agree with that. We are teetering on the possibility of having a looming collapse, and it's probably the markets. Are the markets up or down this morning, Scott? And we do have the possibility of things becoming not really well, and we've got to be able to act now while there's still some actions you can take. So make sure that if you're to the point where you're going to be quarantining yourself, like staying away from people, that you have ways to communicate with them, that you have projects that you can do that keep your mind centered, and food supplies or something so that you have a little more food. And I guess if you don't have toilet paper right now, you might be out of luck. Let's see. It's a slow motion train. No, I tried to read that one. Okay. Karen, some newspapers are printing extra clear pages for their clients to use just in case. After World War II, my mother's family used stocks and bonds just for that. Ooh, okay. It's a lot of talking about other uses for other kinds of toilet paper just in case. Marie Jo, thank you. Maybe this is a voice of reason for us. What in the world is happening? That's right. We're getting it from all angles. U.S. stock plummeted at open. I knew it was going to do that today. I looked last night at before I went to bed at markets, and man, they were so beat up. The market hit a circuit breaker because of dropping and restarted. Well, let's see what happens. I mean, the drop must have been pretty big. Does anybody have a number of how far it dropped? And good morning, Facebook user. Somebody tell me who that is. I hope it's Ryan so I can say hello. Let's see. Marie Jo, what is the situation in your corner of the world? They want to know what the situation is in your corner of the world. Our business is in many countries. Yes, that's right. So one of the things that's been happening is markets are down, and we can see that we have volatility right now. We have tons of volatility. And so what happens is when we have volatility like this, we have a boatload of uncertainty. Nobody can call what's actually going to happen. We know, it's Ray Hurst. Hey, Ray, nice to see you on, buddy. We know that there are going to be strange happenings shortly. There are going to be things that are short. We're still in the beginning. We're not in the middle of, we're still at the beginning of the fallout from what's happened in China to have almost 50 days worth of lockdown, where there's no movement, where there's no production of products and services. And we can see that there's been a wrench thrown in the engine, and the engine isn't properly moving. And that's going to have a ripple effect through the world, period. Because China supplies every great country. Every country. It supplies so many countries with its products and services that being without that right there it's like the whole heartbeat just stopped. And we're going to have to do a lot of resuscitation to get the heart moving again. Ray, please grant StreamYard permission to see your name. So what I want to say is there's a lot of people on the internet that are alarmists. They're, hey, Armageddon is happening. There's a lot of people who are making fun of it, like, this isn't happening. This is a ploy to get us maneuvering off of the political discussion, which right now, after watching the debates and everything else, I'm glad there's something to entertain my mind other than those debates right now. Anyway, so looking at the future as a Monday, here's what I think that I would like to just say to everyone here. One is, it would be so important for you to have extra something, few extra supplies. Very important for you to take a look at how you're making money and how you can add an income stream. Now, I'm saying income stream, not a job, because there's only so many hours in a day you can work. Find yourself another income source. I like Ray Hurst's advice this morning. He said, stay calm and drink coffee. I think that's the best advice ever. But third, you're going to have to be well-informed. You're going to have to make yourself well-informed and find solutions. And what do I mean by well-informed? Some of the countries, they put out videos from inside of their house, from inside of the world. So you can be on Twitter and get actual videos from the Italian people. And I saw one yesterday where the guy had been locked in his house. He's in lockdown. They won't let him out. His sister has died from the coronavirus and is just laying in the house for 24 hours. There's nobody who came to pick up the body. He's just laying in the house with his dead sister. He can't get out of the house. They're taking severe drastic measures. And so he put it out in Italian. It was the same in China. You can actually see what's happening in the world with this kind of citizens sharing their posts online. So you'll get that inside view and know what's going on. Let's see. Coronaviruses are a type of virus. Yes, that's true. There are many different kinds and some cause disease. A newly identified type has caused a recent outbreak of respiratory illness, now called COVID-19, that started in China and in a lab in China. And there's so many plays in that. Peter shared that with us. Karen says Ray Hurst is brilliant and probably drinking coffee now. All brilliant people drink coffee, including Lori. Let's see. MJ, my home base is Bermuda. Ooh. We are pegged to the US dollar. Watching the world markets, cannot worry as I have no control over what's going on in the world. What time is it in Bermuda, by the way? And thank you for that, Marie Jo. I really appreciate that. Yes. Hey, Ray. Nice to see you, buddy. Sean Olson says there's no risk to stock up on things that won't expire. That's true. You're just going to eat it later. And that you're going to use anyway at some point. It saves time on multiple trips to the store. That's true. As supplies diminish, the price will go up and probably not come back down. Yes, so they're the cheapest they're going to be for a while, and probably not come back down to where they are now. So you're going to save money by stocking up now. Plus, the fact that you may not be able to actually get the opportunity to buy certain things in the near future with the supply chain struggles we have right now with what we have right now. Thanks for this educated he. Help. All right. I'll take that. Thank you. You're exactly right. That is one of the biggest, most important things. Things are as cheap as they are going to be. AST. Thank you, Marie Jo. It is as cheap as it's going to be ever right now. And that's the most important thing. If you understand that things are as cheap as they're going to be right now, that inflation is going to happen because supply and demand is just how it is. And we don't know how long China's still going to be in lockdown. We don't know. Right now, they tried to get some people back in the factories, but when they did, I'm not kidding. There's pictures, they just fell dead right there in the factories, and they're exposing other people who aren't sick. And so it's pretty rough. Just Googled, can COVID-19 be spread through coffee? You'll have to check out the results. Thank you for that. I won't let anybody, no spitting into my coffee. Sales of the supply iPhone have collapsed, officially announced today. Okay, sales of and supplies of iPhones have collapsed, officially announced today. Yep, I love me some Coffee Logic every morning. Yes, I drink Coffee Logic every day, sometimes more than 3 cups a day. But I like it. It works, and it's a fantastic product. And if you guys are interested in learning about the Coffee Logic that I drink, just IM me and I'll tell you about it and why I love it so much. It's like the best thing in the world. And so for this time, I would like to say thank you for being with us today. And remember, it's so important right now that you have an open mind, a discerning mind, a mind that doesn't say naysayers mind. No, don't have that. Don't have a panicked mind either. Don't go the other way and go, hi, I'm panicked. So it's not, don't be a naysayer. Don't be panicked. Be discerning. This is happening. And what happens is somehow we become so ethnocentric that we think it's not going to affect our country. But the fact that we are a global economy means we're really a global economy. And the point is, if something happens over here, it now affects everyone. That's what that global economy is. I want to take a look at this update. 11:40 Eastern Time. Port Authority Executive Director Rick Cotton has been diagnosed with the coronavirus. Cotton, the executive director of Port Authority of New York and New Jersey, the independent quasi-public government agency responsible for the port, apparently contacted the virus after visiting airports and other Port Authority facilities. He's at home under quarantine. And that is New York Governor Andrew Cuomo said. That's what he said. Stay home. Don't go out there. Don't risk yourself. This is going quietly. And this week, at the end of the week, I guarantee you it'll be a very different America. It'll be a very different North America. We want to keep ourselves safe, keep yourself in income. If you have to ask yourself this question, if you couldn't work for 3 months, would your income stop? And would your income stop the next day if you weren't working? And if that's true, then you need some other solutions. You need some solutions in there. Even if I drink, it is because it's awesome. Thank you. And she's a staunch tea drinker. Thank you very much. Let's see. COVID-19 symptoms include cough, fever, shortness of breath. However, a lot of smart, healthy coffee will make you feel better. Yes, it does. Thank you. That's another thing. Those things that bring you joy. In my case, I love coffee. And the coffee I drink, I don't want to run out of. So I always have backups of that. And if they could not ship for 3 months, how much coffee would you want to have on hand? Think about that. Don't be Karen says, don't panic, be realistic. Be fundamentally sound in creating your solutions to living your life. To me, I know that everybody who has a home-based business right now, you're already self-quarantining. You're like, yeah, I work at home. My refrigerator's right there. My coffee pot's right there. It's some of the best stuff in the whole world is to be 15 feet from your coffee pot. You get all your work, let all your creativity out. Give yourself projects that are going to help you thrive. This is an instance in your life where you can turn these fundamental things around and help you grow income, help you be able to come out on top. There's so many things you can do. And the last thing is you need to go ahead and be your own medicine cabinet. The Italian people, they don't have, the fire department isn't coming. The ambulances aren't coming. You have to deal with this on the inside. And tomorrow, I think I'll talk about some of the stuff that I use to help create a strong immune system and to really get to the point where I'm having health in my body at home. Because right now, You have to be your own pharmacy. There isn't, prescription drugs have been gone a while. There's so many shortages right now. You're not going to go to the doctor and get that little prescription and everything's going to be okay. How do you help yourself breathe? How do you help yourself be well right now? You've got to go ahead and take care of that right now while supplies last. I'm not kidding when I say while supplies are last, because you can bet Italy is buying all the prescription, everything it can buy that China makes as fast as they can. And by the time we need it, it will probably be out. Vickie, be fundamentally prepared. Yes. No holds barred with this virus. We are all equal candidates, so stay home. Don't touch your face, said Robin. Yes, said Peter. German health ministry confirms first 2 corona case deaths. Governor Cuomo reports 142 new cases in New York. These are live updates happening right now. I've worked from home, permanent or temporary, for over 35 years. Go shopping when the least people are out and about. Yes. I want to talk about that. I go shopping 10 o'clock at night when nobody's around. Barb, that is some wise knowledge right there. She's worked from home for 35 years. Go shopping when the least people are out and about. You want to stock up. This is Robin. You want to stock up on pharmacy items as well as toilet paper. Think vitamin C, zinc, immune builders, elderberry. Let food be thy medicine and medicine be thy food. Yes, that is Peter saying right there. Let food be thy medicine and medicine be thy food. Thank you. I guarantee you. I guarantee you, hugs and kisses, Vickie. Thank you. Hashtag replay for somebody with the users. Word of wisdom. Words of wisdom. Thank you, Peter. That is absolutely the truth. Hi, Ryan. Nice to see you on. Glad you're here, buddy. We're actually still live for a bit. We're getting ready to close this out for today. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about some other solutions that we can have, but I want to give you a hint. Wednesday, welcome guest. If you haven't met Mira Rubin, you are in for a huge surprise. She is amazing. She's an entrepreneur. She is an activist. She is a podcast radio show host. She is an author. She is somebody who is going to she is going to rock your world. I can't wait till you meet her tomorrow. I'm so excited to have her on. She's such a dear friend, and I love her so much. You guys, our Wednesday welcome guest is going to rock your world. You guys want to be there, be there, be there. All right, you guys, I love you. I will see you tomorrow. Mwah. Peace out. Be safe. Be careful and be great. Bye.